So I tried to pick up some prescriptions from the pharmacy yesterday, and one of them didn't come in because the day before was a holiday, so it got all messed up with shipping and stuff. But it was the day after the holiday. So I was just, thinking about, pharmacies on holidays and why do they get to close when, what if somebody needed an emergency medicine? And then I go, well, why do so many people need medicine all the time? Because it came from the whole idea of, why do people have to work on holidays? Well, because there's people that need to have things on holidays. Well, why do so many people need an open pharmacy? And I kind of think people stop thinking before they get to that part, is what I just said. Oh, it sucks they have to be open on holidays. Well, people need them on holidays. They kind of just stop there and say, well, it is what it is. But think about it even deeper. Why are so many people needing a 24-hour, 7 days a week pharmacy? Well, because there's a lot of sick people. Why? That it just the way it is. People are just sick, it's getting crazy because I've heard the quote was it 7 out of 10 people graduating high school are going to need a prescription for the rest of their life by then, and 70% of America can't even 70% of the capable age people couldn't even serve in the military if they wanted to. So why are so many people sick? And then it gets down, of course, always, especially with the times, capitalism and competitiveness. How? Because in our government, it's more important that people make money off of feeding you than feeding you properly. It's more important to make a profit off of providing you things you can absolutely not go without and creating as many of those as possible so they can extract. What do I mean? Who's really getting affected by the Strait of Hormuz? It's not the ones who literally could spend $1 billion for 10 years and still have plenty of money left over, kind of a thing. Not the ultra wealthy or even the well off. Because, there are people who are, I would argue, more working class than upper class in the middle class. And they're going to get hit real hard too, because they rely on making a living off of the traditional market, how it's been for the past 70 years, or at least try to be convinced to us. What am I getting at? It is more important that they make a profit off of keeping you alive than it is to keep you alive. What does that have to do with the pharmacy? Well, I'll build that bridge. They should absolutely get time off. They should absolutely get days off. 100%. But my problem is, why are we treating pharmacies and pharmacy techs like that? That, they're not a 24-hour thing and that they get time off when they want to. And have you noticed that most pharmacies kind of are attached to big box stores or convenience stores like CVS, Walgreens, Kroger? They're always hosting pharmacies. And then it hit me. Oh, no, because medicine is just another food group they're pushing. And why is the Strait of the Hormuz going to affect us the most? Because our extra food group comes in on trucks that drive diesel, that are made from urea and sulfur, which are also sourced from the place that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Not the people who are able to just fire a couple 100,000 people and then still be able to afford their third yacht. No, I mean even well-to-dos that worked their 40 years with their pension and 401k and a good severance and whatever, and kids that are taking. No, I'm talking about even people who wouldn't ever need to rely on their family to take care of them are gonna be reaping what they sowed with their family, because no matter how much money you've put in savings, once it's not being sold in stores, or being able to be picked up by your pharmacy or at your pharmacy, it doesn't matter how much money you have. And what I'm struggling to communicate, I guess, is if you're not surrounded by people who understand what I just said, or if you don't understand, replay this video, take up a couple points, ask AI, I don't care, put captions on this, extract it, toss it into an LLM and talk to it or something, and cite my source there, go for it, just rip me apart. But what I think is important to know is if people are at least not actively talking about that around you, and they're rushing to show you something they've seen on the internet, or ask you if you've seen a movie or what kind of music you listen to, instead of, hey, I know you guys don't make that much money, how you guys doing, we can help out, or starting these co-ops. I've seen people say the only way that this gets fixed is illegally, not because it's immoral, but because it's the only way. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about civil disobedience. I'm talking about just straight up not doing things. I don't advocate for any political action anymore. I'm only going personal because politics is already sold. I'm going for personal stuff now. You know how you change it? Look at everything I said. Validate, invalidate. Get involved in the conversation. If you or someone you know is not talking about this stuff or understands this stuff, I think it's really important you need to. Because from what people are saying, it kind of looks like America is being shown to be a paper tiger. There's not enough people to take care of the old people. There's not enough money to take care of everybody who can't find a job. Jobs are going away increasingly quicker via rapid immigration and technological advances. We're kind of leaving the world in a big ol' uproar, or living in a world that's in a big ol' uproar. But the only reason that's allowed to continue is because we're all watching TV and sports and playing our video games and watching our short form content. So this is a call to action. Stop watching short form content first. Delete your Facebooks, or at least uninstall them, download all the pictures and delete. Twitter, keep YouTube, but curate your own feed. I would be filling my feed with epistles and Christian practical knowledge, ones that follow a non-violence protocol. Why do I say that? People think the only way out of this is illegal and immediately think it's a violent one. No. Do what Jesus did. I've never heard Jesus get directly involved in politics. He never told us what to do in regards to government. He told us how to take care of each other, and that's what we need to focus on. So, pay attention to the fact that everything's going to get way more expensive, and families are going to have to start relying on themselves. Meaning, like in my past videos I've talked about, boomers and Xer parents are going to have to reap what they sow. And unfortunately, if the children that were born to you and you raised and took care of do not attend church and do not believe what you believe, you got some work to do, and you got not a lot of time.